Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Myself Neerja Verma, I am working as professor in Department of Library and Information Science, Maharani Lakshmi Bai Government College of Excellence, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. Today I am going to discuss the module User Education, Concept and Need, which includes in the paper Library Use and User Studies. This module will help you to understand the concept of user education, to know the components of user education, to understand the aims and objectives of user education, and to know the need of user education. Students, education is a lifelong process. User education means to educate users in the use of library resources, activities, and services. It means to educate the users of to help them to make the best use of the library. When a user comes to the library for the first time, he or she does not know about different kinds of resources, activities, and services of a particular library. User education gives introduction about these to them. In this age of information and computer, libraries are adopting newly emerging technologies and changing their ways of rendering services to the users. In this changing environment, users require a specific training in the use of library services. So, user education may be defined as process or program through which users are motivated to use information resources and different kinds of library services. I will tell you the origin of user education. The origin of library user education can be traced back more than 170 years. The earliest evidence of instruction lecturing to undergraduates was found at Harvard College in the 1820s. Most early academic librarians were professors with part-time library appointments who taught the use of libraries for academic purposes. Library lectures were the chosen form of instruction by such institutions as Harvard, Indiana University, and Columbia. In 1971, the term bibliographic instruction originated with the creation of the Association of College and Research Libraries, that is ACRL, ad hoc committee on bibliographic instruction. This was followed in 1973 with the establishment of the Library Orientation Exchange, a clearinghouse for materials used in library instruction. In the mid-70s, the American Library Association's Library Instruction Roundtable came into being. Its mission is to advocate library instruction as a means for developing competent library and information access skills along with their use as a part of lifelong learning. The mission of the American Library Association's Library Instruction Roundtable is to advocate library instruction as a means for developing competent library and information access skills along with their use as a part of lifelong learning. Unlike Association of College and Research Libraries, it represents all types of libraries: academic, public, school, and special. In the last few years, a new term has emerged: information literacy, and it seems destined to supplant bibliographic instruction as the catchphrase for library instruction. There are various definitions are available for user education. Muse in 1972 defined user education as instruction given to help the users to make the best use of library. Jacques Stockline in 1978 defined user education to include any effort or program which will guide and instruct existing and potential users, individually or collectively, with the objectives. The objectives are the recognition of their own information needs, the formulation of these needs, the effective and efficient use of information services, and assessment of these services. Nancy in 1984 defined that user education is concerned with the library whole information and communication process, and one part of this involves the total user interaction. Some more definitions of user educations are: according to Shahi, it is a process of activities involved in making the users of the library conscious about tremendous value of information in day-to-day life, to develop interest among the users, to seek information as and when they requires. According to Wikipedia, library instruction, also called bibliographic instruction, user education, and library orientation. It consists of instructional programs designed to teach library users how to locate the information they need quickly and effectively. According to Mishra and Phadke, user education can be defined as educational potential library users jointly by the library and academic staff in successive stages to help them to make the best use of the library resources, that is, library collection and library personnel, and acquire sophisticated knowledge in its use. This definition is given in 1988. Fleming defines in 1990 user education as various programs of instruction, education, and exploration provided by libraries to users to enable them to make more effective, efficient, and independent use of information sources and services to which these libraries provide access. One more definition has been given by Reeds in 2004. User education in Dictionary of Library and Information Science: all the activities involved in teaching users how to make the best possible use of library resources, services, and facilities, including formal and informal instruction delivered by a librarian or other staff member, one-on-one or in a group. Also includes online tutorials, audiovisual materials, and printed guides and pathfinders. It is a broader term than bibliographic instruction. Now we see what is user education. Broadly defined, library user education, also called library instruction, teaches users how to make the most effective use of the library system. At Ohio State University, user education encompasses all activity undertaken to help students become efficient users of information. That is, how to identify the information need, and then how to find, evaluate, and select the best information to meet that need. Activities to achieve that goal include orientation sessions, workshops, handouts, and course-related and course-integrated instruction. The term library user education has more recently been broadened to include the concept of information literacy. The synonyms of user education are user orientation, library orientation program, library instruction, user instruction, and information literacy. These are all one and the same. Orientation is a process of familiarizing the library to library users. Library users should have very good knowledge about the library to retrieve the information and making use of the library services and facilities effectively. Here is a grammatical representation of the library. Library is a place to achieve many more things to the students. Students can achieve so many things from the library. ICT, information, learning together, knowledge construction, skills instruction, building relationships, and they can locate and select the information from the library. Now we see what are the components of user education. There can be three components or levels of user education. First is library orientation, second is library instruction, and third one is bibliographic instruction. Library orientation means ways of introducing the users to the general methods of usage and services and to the layout such as building and selections of the libraries, stocking arrangement, rules and regulations, and facilities available in a particular library. It means to try and create the right kind of environment for effective communication between user and the library staff, and to present an image of the library as a pleasant and friendly institution. Orientation makes user confident in the use of the library. After orientation, users feel that library staff is competent and is always willing to help. Second component is library instruction. It means to provide specific instruction to how to use and understand specific information sources, information systems, information services, and tools. It gives instructions to the users how to select, get, and use specific information resources. Library instructions are concerned with learning to make use of the information resources available in a specific library. It includes techniques in using indexes, catalog, reference materials, and bibliographic tools. Third component is bibliographic instruction. It means to use the bibliographic tools to provide guidance to understand the features of these tools and their nature of subject coverage. These instructions educate users on how to find materials manually or electronically using online public access catalogs, that is OPACs, and CD-ROMs. It is concerned with the problems of information retrieval and the techniques of exploiting information resources to the maximum extent. There are various objectives of user education. These are to familiar the users with the library and library resources, to introduce the general objectives of the library, to establish contact between user and staff, to instruct the users with the use of library resources and services, to bring the awareness or to guide the users about library facilities, collection and services, etc. Objectives of user education include to familiarize the user with the automated library services such as OPAC, that is Online Public Access Catalog, to identify the user's specific information resources, as per their information needs. To enhance and improve the user's abilities to select appropriate information sources. To train the users in the use of information resources. To extract the information from information system. Objectives of user education include to train the users to exploit the library resources effectively, to encourage the users to get the assistance of library professionals, to train and develop the skills in the users for independent specific information searching, to acquaint them with various national and international information networks and databases, and lastly, to educate the users in CD-ROM database searching as well as online searching. Now we come to the point need of user education. With the changes in technology and society, goals of library user education have been changed from library instruction to information literacy and lifelong learning. In present days, libraries have developed and expanded programs to meet the changing needs of library users. Prominent among these is the Library User Education Program. There are several reasons for providing user education. Now we see what is the need of user education. The first reason for providing user education in the libraries is literature explosion and information explosion. There is a tremendous increase in volume and variety of publications, so that it is essential to familiar the users with these different kinds of information sources, as they are available in variety of forms. User education plays an important role for the same. The second reason for providing user education is e-resources. Nowadays, information is available in electronic format such as CD-ROM databases, online databases, e-journals, e-books, etc. And to search the information from these variety of e-resources, it is essential to familiar the users with them. The next reason for providing user education is the automation. No doubt that the information environment in libraries is changing in India. Nowadays, libraries are automating their activities and services. Use of information communication technology, that is ICT, is making libraries more advanced. Users feel hesitation when they enter in such libraries. They require someone to help them to tell the general arrangement and layout of the library. One more reason for providing user education is variety of library services. Modern libraries are providing a variety of services in this age of information, such as literature search service, document delivery service, bibliographic services, current awareness service, selective dissemination of information service, that is CAS and SDI, etc. Users are not aware about the kinds of services provided by the modern libraries, and user education is a mean in this regard. Another reason for providing user education is the multiple database searching techniques. Information is available in CD-ROM databases and online databases in these days. A number of searching techniques are available to retrieve the information from these databases, and the organization and arrangement of information in these databases is so difficult and complicated that users cannot extract their required information from these databases without guidance and proper training. User education makes familiar the users with these databases and also trains them with the searching techniques to retrieve their required information. Internet is a big reason for providing user education in the libraries. Internet is a global network of several networks. It is a worldwide web of interconnected university, business, defense and science networks. It is made up of local area network, LANs, metropolitan area networks, MENS, and huge wide area networks, that is WANs, of the whole world. In present days, Internet has become an important tool for researchers, political activists, scientists, journalists, librarians, businessmen, etc. for retrieving their required information. Om Shankar Shekhar Singh in 2003 has given common facilities provided by the Internet. These facilities are access to data stored on remote computers, exchange of electronic mail and other data files in a wide area environment, online real-time interaction with other network, receipt and delivery of electronic publications, participation in electronic media, mailing list and conferences, and access to remote scientific computing equipment such as supercomputers, remote sensing equipments, telescopes, and graphic processors. Users are not aware about these facilities provided by Internet, and user education trains the user in the use of Internet. One reason for providing user education is the information system and information networking. In present days, users may get their information existed in remote areas just sitting at one place through networking. There are various information systems. As per Encyclopedia Britannica, information system an integrated set of components for collecting, storing and processing data and for delivering information, knowledge and digital products. Business firms and other organizations rely on information system to carry out and manage their operations, interact with their customers and suppliers. An information system is a combination of hardware, software and trained personnel organized to facilitate planning, control, coordination and decision making in an organization. In information technology, a network is a series of points or nodes interconnected by communication paths. Networks can interconnect with other networks and contain subnetworks. Information network is a supportive system of sharing information and services among individuals and groups having a common interest. User education is essential to familiar the users with these facilities. Here is a grammatical representation of 21st century learner. As 21st century learner should have the ability of collaboration and leadership, critical thinking and problem solving, creativity and innovation, social responsibility and cultural, global and environmental awareness, communication, digital literacy, lifelong learning, self-direction, and personal management. And to produce these abilities, user education is must in the libraries. So libraries can play an important role to produce 21st century learner. Now I conclude the session. Information technology plays a unique role in storing, managing and retrieving information effectively. Networking and multi-user environment and multimedia have been important development in the field of information technology. Libraries are increasing their efficiency and effectiveness of their operations and services in this environment. To familiar the users With these technologies, user education is essential. Library user education programs need to support the concept of educating for a lifetime.